Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph. This is XCOM Chimera Squad. Normally I do this at the end of the episode, but since I have the impression that a lot of people don't watch the videos all the way to the end, please leave a like, leave a comment if you're enjoying the content, and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along with this series. This is a rather recent game that I'm playing, so I hope that this will get me some new eyes on the channel. And if those new eyes are enjoying the content, then by all means, let me know. In the previous episode, we rescued the mayor, even if it was for only a few moments, until she was loaded into the ambulance, which then exploded. So we're back at base now. This is our current headquarters. And we have a giant mock-up of the city that we're gonna take a look at. This episode will be, I think, focused on checking out our base.
Welcome to City 31. During Advent's occupation, the city was a fortress supporting an active starport. 5 years after XCOM won the war, it's home to aliens, hybrids, and humans alike. There's new industry, self-government, and local agriculture to support the varied populations. Against all odds, this city thrived after the war. There were no retributive attacks.
Until tonight.
We don't know that, not yet, but we can find out. 3-1 PD requested our help sifting through evidence at the Memorial Museum. They lost good officers today. Give them what they need and see what we can learn.
Alright, the City 31 map. The map is where we see the status of City 31 and any current targets we can send our squad to respond to. Chimera Squad can respond to 1 target per day, after which the day automatically advances. Okay, so it looks like we have 9 districts in the city. Anglers Point, Riverside, Renova Heights, Switchyard, Downtown, Highland Square, The Fringe, Old Town, and The Stacks. And right now there is a situation. There are different types of missions. We have, I think, purple ones for the main story. We have yellow ones, which are like side missions. And then we have these blue situations where we don't really have to play out like an actual breach. So this is a mission that happens kind of in the background, so to speak. So let's take a look. The Memorial Museum Aftermath. 3-1 PD needs help pouring through the aftermath of tonight's attack. Mayor Nightingale's death has the city on edge. Let's do what we can to help. Sending the APC to resolve the situation will automatically advance the day. Are you ready to proceed? Yes. So we've done what we can to aid 3-1 PD. Commissioner Malouf passed along her thanks for helping her officers bear the weight of this attack.
Your work with 3-1 PD opened a few doors. Here's what we know. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance.
Okay, so we are, during the game, going to investigate 3 different factions. And the first thing we need to do is pick one. So we have the Progeny, we have the Grey Phoenix, and we have Sacred Coil. Sacred Coil is an underground religious movement for hybrids. They preach salvation, but only to those who once fought XCOM. Grey Phoenix is an organization of alien scavengers. They have quietly amassed the kind of weaponry Reclamation is mandated to recover. And the Progeny is a loose network of human scions. Their vision for City 31's future is entirely psionic, whether the city wants it or not. So basically we have to pick one of these 3 to investigate first. And I don't know, I've only played XCOM Enemy Unknown, so in that one the Scions were super dangerous, so maybe it would be good to take care of them first. Let's take care of the human Scions first. So we're going to take the Progeny for our first investigation.
The Progeny have a small but loyal human membership, all with psionic capability. Victims willingly hand over what the Progeny need, then forget the whole thing. The perfect crime.
Director, these are local criminals. Isn't that 3-1 PD's jurisdiction?
True. The Reclamation Agency supports local police, but we're also required to recover dangerous material.
From those who would do the world harm, and each of those groups is neck deep in the stuff. So what next?
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly. The city wants justice for Mayor Nightingale. This is how we help them achieve it.
So, tackling investigations. Every investigation has 3 stages. We have the groundwork from this first mission, learn about the faction and their methods. We have operations, hidden missions that must be revealed, then completed to knock out the faction's main plans. And then we have the takedown, stop their final attack and end their threat to City 31. So we need to know more about the Progeny before we can proceed with our investigation. The faction overview we already read. So on the 2nd of March we have opened our investigation. There are no dark events. And the Progeny leadership is entirely psionic. Consultation with the Templars suggests a human with powerful psionic capability. Right, and now you can see that we have a bit more things to do. So let's visit the assembly area.
Check it out. Headquarters sent us an assembly. And with the right patterns, we can build anything. Or we could with the latest version. What you're looking at is the extremely finicky 2038 model. It'll take time to stress test our patterns, but once we have them, we're good to go.
Assembly projects are how you get access to new and better items and equipment. Each project can unlock new items for XCOM supply, new weapon or armor upgrades, or a variety of other useful things. Agents assigned here decrease the time it takes to complete a project. We have 2 resources up there. Illyrium, which we have 65 of. Illyrium is one of 3 resources Reclamation requires. It is spent to complete projects in the assembly. Okay, so our Illyrium is what we need for our assembly. We have credits with which we can purchase the items that we unlock in the assembly. And then we have a third resource, which is intel, which we gain from knocking opponents unconscious. And maybe there's other ways to gain it, but that's the only way I've seen so far. And with that we can add field teams, if I'm not mistaken. So every one of those districts on the map can have a team assigned to it. That's what we can unlock with intel. So let's see. There are different categories here: androids, breach, grenades, miscellaneous, armor, and weapons. So we only have one option, which is android personnel. Construct the android OPS hub. This network allows us to use androids on tactical missions and enables new assembly projects. It costs us 10 Illyrium and 2 days. It grants us 1 android tactical unit. Android units purchasable in supply. And it unlocks all entry-level assembly projects. So basically this takes us 2 days, and if we assign an agent here, it will take us only 1 day to unlock this. So yeah, let's select Android personnel and begin. There we go. We have the armory. So this is basically where we can manage our agents. So we can manage their loadout, their weapons and armor and items. We can unlock new abilities by promoting agents. We have the agent biography, learn more about the agent's background, and we can give them a different color armor.
The director convinced the city council we're too understaffed to be effective. This means we can bring more agents to City 31. It's not the whole squad, not yet, but it's something.
This is different from my previous playthrough. Well, playthrough is a big word. I did a couple of missions and it gave me different agents to choose from. So let's take a quick look. We have Shelter, who is a psionic. Let's see, he has relocate. Agent psionically swaps position with the targeted enemy or ally, does not automatically end the turn. Oh, that is super interesting to move people. And then Dazzle is an ability which is locked at the moment. Agent launches a psionic blast that disorients all enemies near the breach point. Targeted enemy is disoriented for an extra turn. 1 use per mission. Okay, so we have certain abilities that we can only use once. Okay. We have Blue Blood, which is precision shooter. He has Dead Eye. Agent takes a shot with a minus 15% aim penalty for a 50% damage boost. Does not end the turn if used as a first action. Okay. Then Desperado. Standard pistol fire and Dead Eye cost an action and do not automatically end the turn if agent actions remaining. Let's see, so this means that you can shoot and then still do an action. Normally, like firing ends your turn, and this means that we can still perform an action. Alright. And then we have Lancer Shot, which is still locked. Agent fires his Lancer pistol at a target, ignoring all cover bonuses. Oh, that's interesting as well. And then we have Zephyr, is a close quarters specialist. I'm guessing it's a she, or although it can also be a he actually. It's or it can be a neutral character as well. It's not very clear. They have a crippling blow. The agent punches an enemy and inflicts one of several status effects. The effect is either disarm, disorient, stun, or root. This attack cannot miss and will trigger momentum. And then Fearless Advance. Zephyr blitzes towards an enemy and melee attacks them after the breach. This will position Zephyr near the enemy. If the enemy was alert, their alert breach action is cancelled. Oh, that's also very interesting. Okay, so we already have one psionic in the team, which is Verge. Everybody is already shooting, so we don't really have a close quarters person. So I think I'm gonna pick Zephyr here to join the team.
Zephyr, you made it.
Yeah.
You grab a locker?
Yep.
Have everything you need?
Yeah.
Good talk.
No.
Okay, so what's really cool is, well, we cannot really rename any of the characters, but what's really cool is they have their own personalities, and there is a lot of banter between the different characters, and that should be very funny at times. I don't know, there is a lot of banter as well. If you look at like my Pathfinder Kingmaker Let's Play, I don't really show it, but when they're resting, they're also talking to each other, and sometimes that's really hilarious. And I'm expecting very similar things with this game. So let's see. We have the loadout. We have pangolin gauntlets. The deceptively simple pangolin gauntlets adjust to an agent's hand movements with only a negligible loss in mobility. Okay. We have the regular standard issue body armor, manufactured to fit each agent's unique needs, a far cry from the cobbled together protection from the war. We don't have any breach items or utility items yet. We can still purchase those. Let's go back one step here. Agent abilities, let's see. Okay, so this is where we can promote agents once they have a bit more experience under their belts. Agents earn XP on missions which lead to promotions. Each new rank provides increased stats, and some unlock new abilities and new training programs. At certain levels, you have a choice between two abilities and decide which one you want. Okay. And then I would like to take a look at the biography of the characters as well. We can give a specific armor tint. Let's see what is... oh, that looks good. It's very complementary with the eyes of Zephyr. So let's keep this blue. Gives me a bit of a Sub-Zero vibe, which is awesome. I hope that Zephyr can also spray ice. Let's take a look, learn a bit more. So Zephyr is originally from Australia. No confirmed past. Scattered records suggest she was Australian, undergoing the hybrid amalgamation and psionic Let procedure in 2021. She's about 14 years old. Then between 2016 and 2034, so per Advent records, she was officially created in 2021. She was transferred to City 31, worked as a loyal Advent soldier under the Psionic Network. She was separated from the Psionic Network by the Skirmishers Resistance faction, joined the Skirmishers and quickly rose in the ranks. Operated primarily in City 31's region. In the 2035 War for Liberation, she fought Advent alongside XCOM for the duration of the war. She was present for the fall of City 31 at age 28. Currently, she left the Skirmishers at the war's end. She applied to the Reclamation Agency after failing to uncover her human past. Recommended for Chimera Squad by multiple XCOM soldiers she once fought beside. So yeah, of course, what is, in case you haven't noticed, in XCOM Chimera Squad we can actually play with the aliens. So, and we have 3 of them in our squad so far. So let's take a look at Verge. Prior to the invasion, he was the psionic support for an infiltration unit of Tin Men. During the invasion, he actively worked to subvert human governments, experimented with delicate long-term mental control of human subjects. During the occupation, he was assigned to the long-term control of an influential human who could keep the populace docile with comprehensible, reassuring answers to their questions about aliens. Selected as a candidate for conversion into sectoid. Oh wow. He was selected as a candidate for conversion into sectoid infused with human genetic material. Post-conversion, exhibited signs of empathy towards the human populace. Quietly began to tip off resistance groups. During the War for Liberation, he served as a mole actively aiding resistance groups and XCOM. And currently he spent time in a detention camp until XCOM realized his role in the war. He agreed to the Reclamation Agency transfer and Director Kelly approved his admission to Chimera Squad. So once they infused human genetic material into his sectoid being, all of a sudden he starts he starts growing empathy. That's quite nice. Let's see. Sharap was originally from Estonia. Prior to the war, he belonged to the Empty Cohort, a batch of hybrid clones with full Advent training but no Advent indoctrination. During the war, he emerged from his clone crash, immediately befriended two XCOM soldiers. And then currently he was transferred to a detention center. Exhaustive testing revealed no Advent sympathies despite being part of the Bellasmar clone line. Released from detention and recommended as a test case for XCOM utilizing skills of the Empty Cohort, transferred to the Reclamation Agency after proving his capability. He requested placement in Chimera Squad at the first opportunity. Reclamation HQ has observed his enthusiasm, improved the morale of his squad on multiple occasions. Okay, so this is the happy fellow, alien, I guess, in the group. Okay. Then we have Terminal, who was originally from China. She was the only child of a factory worker and a cook. Her parents died during the initial invasion, and her uncle fled with her to a relocation camp. During the occupation, after her uncle died of disease, she was effectively adopted by a doctor who lost her only daughter to the invasion, transferred with her adoptive mother to a small town in the outskirts, began apprenticing in her adoptive mother's medical office. After a punitive Advent attack wiped out her town, a resistance group pulled her from the rubble and brought her to safety. She exhibited a severe shift in personality. Then during the War for Liberation, combat medic for her resistance group exhibited absolute fearlessness and saved hundreds of lives. Oh, that's a real war hero here, Terminal. That's cool. And then she was initially rejected for the Reclamation Agency, but requested regular psionic probes to prove she is fit to serve. Assigned to Chimera Squad after her probationary period. And then we have Godmother, who is originally from France. She was a national tactical police officer with a few years of experience before the invasion. She went to ground after the fall of Paris, spent a fruitless year searching for her family. During the occupation, she provided operational training to the nascent European resistance groups. She strongly advised against direct resistance, which she learned brought overwhelming reprisal raids. Connected with XCOM proper during its leaner years, remained a friendly asset as the organization rebuilt itself, and in 2032, she developed a formalized tactical training program to screen XCOM recruits. During the War for Liberation, she was a field liaison to allied resistance groups supporting XCOM, and currently, she modified the XCOM recruit training program to suit the needs of the Reclamation Agency. She joined Chimera Squad provisionally to ensure field-ready status. Right, those are our team members. Okay, what else do we have? So this is where we are right now. We have...
Our field office has all the basics. Weapons, comms, and ammunition. Supply is where we request everything else. As long as it's in the squad's budget, it's ours.
Alright, so the XCOM supply is where you buy all your core items and equipment. Items you unlock from assembly projects become permanently available here too. Credits are the second resource that we are highlighting. And this is what we need in order to purchase the items in the supply. So there are, as you could tell in the first episode, we had a couple of different breaches. Now when we get a mission, it will show us which type of breaches we are going to deal with. And for some of them, we are going to need specific items, like for example, a auto keycard. So if we need to breach through a security door, we need one of these cards. If we need to breach through a wall, we need one of these charges. We have a ceasefire grenade, which disables all firearms in a large radius. We have the flashbang grenade, which disorients hostile targets. We have the medkit, which restores 4 hit points and removes burning, acid and poison. And yeah, in the short couple of missions that I've played so far, I was on fire already more than once. So yeah, that's gonna happen. We have the smoke grenade, which boosts the defense of all the units. We have tracer rounds to improve the aim, and we have tranq rounds to make sure that we don't kill our target, but we render them unconscious. And thus we can gain intel from them. That is our supply. Then we have our investigation overview. We've already seen that. We have one idle agent, okay? And we have a critical mission which must be completed today. Now what I can do is I can put one of the agents into this assembly right here. And then we can see what that does. So let's put the Verge in here. And you can tell that the time needed for this project was halved. So we are gonna keep him there. And then we're gonna add Zephyr to the team. Let's take a quick look at the city map. We have a mission. Investigate the progeny. It's an easy mission. Whisper here. I'll keep you updated on any activities requiring our attention. Speaking of which, an entire progeny front company just opened fire on 3-1 PD. We should check that out, right? And we will get 35 credits as a reward. And we are gonna do that in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next episode.